With solidly crashing down even before it fully launched, people started already looking for alternatives. Of course, in the Phantom ecosystem, we already have a ton of other projects that are doing something similar to what Solidly was doing, and this is already creating more wars. Of course, we've seen the Curve wars already here in this channel. If you haven't seen that video, it's going to be right here on the top right corner. But now in the Phantom ecosystem, we also have other smaller wars happening. But one of them right now, which is growing fast in size, is on SPIRITSWAP. So the SPIRITSWAP wars are currently happening, and it has been gathering a lot of attention. The other one that is kind of growing as well is on 100 Finance, but it doesn't even compare with the SPIRITSWAP wars. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, especially because SPIRITSWAP is about to launch their V2. So the whole website is going to be new and it's going to be more focused on the in-spirit token, which is the governance token where you can basically just lock it up. And depending on how long you're going to lock it up, you can get more or less in spirit, and that in spirit gives you the ability to vote or to receive bribes to vote for specific pools to boost specific APRs. So this is what is currently happening here on SPIRITSWAP. But let's take a look at it and let's see what currently SPIRITSWAP has to offer, and if it is a good play for you to stake your money here, to leave your money here on SPIRITSWAP awaiting this V2. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. We are here on SPIRITSWAP. And the first thing that I want to show you is, if you scroll down right here, the TVL is $214 million. So SPIRITSWAP is one of the native biggest DEXs here on Phantom. Of course, it's still a little bit far from Scream or Spooky Swap, but even so, it is one of the native DEXs here on Phantom. But what I want to call your attention here is that the total minted supply is 562 million Spirit. But there's only 262 million Spirit circulating. And why? Because almost 60% of it is locked into in Spirit. So what it means is that there's actually a little bit of a scarcity accumulating right now of Spirit, because people are more and more prominent to lock their Spirit for in Spirit. And with that, get the bribes, boost some APRs, and also get passive APR from the in Spirit itself. So that is actually good for Spirit owners, because Spirit, by being scarce, is gonna go up in price eventually, and by going up in price, people are gonna be attracted more to the platform and are gonna be more inclined to again lock more Spirit for more in Spirit tokens. So I think they're doing a pretty substantial job here on this platform. And when the V2 launches, we're gonna have access to bribes. So on the platform itself, you will be able to vote and receive bribes depending on what you vote for. So if you take a look right here on InSpirit, if you go right here on InSpirit, this is where you can actually transform your Spirit into InSpirit. So for example, you put right here some Spirit tokens, and let's say you lock it for 2 years or max time, which is 4 years, and then you approve and you receive some in Spirit. Now, when you lock it for the max time, so 4 years, you're receiving 1-to-1, so 1 Spirit to 1 in Spirit, and then it goes lower according to how much you lock it for. And right now, by currently doing this, you're gonna get an APR of 27%, almost 28, 27.5. And with that in Spirit, what you can do, you can actually vote for some of these farms, and you can boost them. So the farms that receive these are gonna receive boosted APRs in Spirit. If you're not familiar with this bribing system, this governance system started with Curve. So Curve was the kind of the creator with the gauge system, which is this right here. They created this, and then it started a whole big war, which is going to be in the video that I linked to you in the beginning. So if you scroll right here, you can see that you can vote for whatever pool like this, depending on how much in Spirit you have. You can vote for specific pools, and you can also distribute your vote to vote 35% on one and then the remaining percentages on other. You can just split it up if you feel like it. Right now, since I don't have anything, my vote is empty. As you can see right here, empty vote. But again, with the L2 coming, you would have also a bribe system. So you will have another tab right here, maybe saying how much you would get paid from a specific platform for them to bribe you and for you to vote towards the LP pool. So this is basically what is happening. And these pools right here, we can actually see them if we go on farms. So you click right here on farms and you go and boost it. So all of these right here are boosted farms from that gauge system that we saw right there. And if you actually scroll to right here, this percentage represents the if you scroll right here to the question mark, it says this percentage represents the proportion of total spirit emissions dedicated to this specific farm. So the emissions are the ones we saw right there in spirit, and we can see there's 11% right here, 10% right there, 7% here, 5%, and you can see it goes lower and lower and lower. And of course, this will boost the APR range, and you will get that in spirit. But then how is that war going? Because right now I just showed you what is happening, but who really owns the majority of this in spirit token? Well, there's a website for this, and the website is actually called, let me go back, it's called DeFi Wars XYZ. So if you type DeFi Wars XYZ, you will see right here we can find both of the platforms that I was talking about. We have Spirit and we have 100 Finance. So I'll make another video about 100 Finance, but today we're going to be looking at Spirit. So when you click right here, it will show you the distribution of the in spirit supply. So right now the total in spirit supply, I don't think they have refreshed this number, because let me just check it right here. The total supply was around 290 million. Let me see. Yeah, 298 million. Right here is 243 million. Maybe it's because people like you and me, so not protocols, but only normal people are holding the remaining percentages. That might be it, but let's go with this number for now. And you can see right here all the platforms and all the wallets that hold in spirit. If you scroll down here, you can see there's a peg for 100k. If you don't understand what this is, every platform is gonna give you a different token. So Lin Spirit for Liquid Driver, Rain Spirit for Ola Finance, then Bin Spirit for Beefy. And if we scroll down right here, it says the peg for a Win Spirit, which is a wrapped Lin Spirit, represents how much spirit you would get if you traded 100k of the Win Spirit. If the peg is at a 100%, it is a perfect one-to-one peg. If it's below 100% and you believe in the project, it could be a great buying opportunity if you believe the project regaining the peg. So now we know, let's check out a little bit. So we can see Liquid Driver has almost 30% of all the in spirit, which is Lin Spirit for them. And they are currently with a 99% peg, almost 100%, because it's 99.99. So their Lin Spirit is equal to 1-to-1 to Spirit. So this is really, really good news for Liquid Driver. Now we have Ola Finance, and we see right here, there's even a little SOS emoji because their peg is 47%. So if you exchange 100k of their Rain Spirit, you would only get $47,000 in Spirit. So very, very bad. Again, if you believe in the project and you think it will go back to 100% peg, then you can just buy that and just surf it back to 100%, which I don't think it will happen. So we will see. Then we have Beefy with 13% of the in spirit supply, and they have a peg of 77%. So not so great. Then we have Millennium Club with only 5.8%, but we don't know about the peg. Maybe because they don't have their own version of InSpirit, they're just using InSpirit itself. Then we have Scarab, and Scarab has a 56.9% peg, so half almost, which is not so good, and a 4.6% share of this InSpirit pool. Then we have Grim with 32%. That is crazy. So almost completely depeg, and they have 4.05%. And then the other ones are just smaller wallets with 2.6, 2, and 1% of the total in-spirit supply. So you can see right here, there's a lot of division right now, but you can see how good Liquid Driver is doing. I already talked about Liquid Driver here in this channel. So a very bullish thing, both for in-spirits, because you can see 60% of all spirit supply is locked into in-spirit. And of that 60%, 27% is locked by Liquid Driver. So Liquid Driver is also very big and is also investing hard into in-spirit. So what will be a good strategy right now if you believe Phantom will eventually come back, and if you believe into SPIRITSWAP and the project? So a good strategy will be for you to lock some spirit. This is up to you how long you lock it for, because it depends on how much you believe in the project. For example, I don't lock my curve for 4 years, but I've locked it for 2 years. Some of my curve, I've locked it for 2 years, but I don't think I'll lock this right here for 2 years. So maybe I'll lock it for 1 year only and get only 25% of the value of Spirit that I deposit in Spirit. But I still think that is good enough for what I'm trying to do. And then I'll just vote and wait for the bribes. And as I vote for farms that I'm currently farming on. So for example, I wouldn't vote for this Yoshi Phantom LP because I'm not using it. Maybe this Wrapped ETH and Phantom should be something good. But for example, we see the majority of it are in Spirit and Phantom and Liquid Driver and Phantom. So I would vote for these two because I would also be staking some of my money there. So I'll receive these boosted APRs. And when bribes come, then I would probably do the same thing if they're paying a good amount. And just depending on how much they're paying me for the bribes, I would just maybe split 50-50 where I'm going to vote with my Spirit. This is one of the ways, but then there's also a lot of things that you can do when the bribes come. You can just go full on one bribe and don't switch it never to any other, or just go for the bribe that is paying you the most. It depends. It's up to you on how you want to play it. If you want to play for you to gain more on your boosted farms, on the farms that you have your money, or if you want to gain more on the bribe side. So even if it is a pool that you're not actually farming on, you can just receive a higher bribe if they're paying more than any other ones and than any other. So this is currently what is happening here on Phantom. But as I said, we are still waiting for this version 2 of SpiritSwap, which they say is going to be soon rather than later. So I guess it's up to us just to wait on it. So this is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do you actually have money into Phantom right now, or are you one of these guys that went to Metis? A bunch of people are now fleeing from Phantom to Metis. Are you also one of these, or are you just splitting your money and sending some money over to other chains? What are you doing? What are your thoughts, not only on SpiritSwap, but on the Phantom ecosystem as a whole? Please let me know down in the comments. And if you got all the way to the end of the video and you enjoyed the content, please consider dropping a like. It helps out the channel a lot. And why not subscribe, because 80% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you would be so kind to subscribe and turn on the notification so you won't miss the next video, I'll be very, very glad. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace.